So I'm here with Jeff Lawson from Twilio. Thanks, Jeff.
Hey. Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you. So I'm doing a presentation this afternoon that talks about the way that the geeks should articulate their message so that the real world, those other 5 billion people out there, can actually understand what they do. And you gave a presentation this morning, a keynote, that was really, really well received. And I see some parallels between what you were saying and what I was saying. So, or what I'm going to say. So if you could give a quick kind of rehash of what your ethos was.
Yeah, absolutely. The high-level notion that we have at Twilio is that we are appealing to people, we call doers, people who just like to pick up their tools and build stuff. And our job as someone who's speaking to them is to give them the tools they need and to get out of the way of them doing innovation, experimentation, figuring stuff out. And so those tools are things like having self-service. You can just sign up and start doing it on your own timeline. Showing you the pricing, showing you the documentation, giving you full visibility into here's how Twilio works, and you can make an informed decision about whether or not we solve a problem you have, and if it does, great. But it's all about putting that information forward, as contrasted with the sort of traditional enterprise model, which is all generally about withholding information, forcing you to talk to a salesperson, and sort of go through a prolonged song and dance to get information to help you make an informed decision. We're all about, no, let's put the information out there, let's get out of your way, and when you need to talk to us, we're here, but essentially let you figure out on your own with information whether or not Twilio is going to help you in whatever it is you're trying to achieve. And so that is the notion of the doer, right? Somebody who wants that information, wants to make an informed decision, and just get, hit the ground running kind of mentality.
So it's about doing the right things to enable the people that use your tool to actually use it, and being there when you need it, but getting out of the way.
Yep.
The rest
And
of the time.
and this may sound like obvious, right? You'd say, oh, of course that's a good idea, right? But it's interesting because a lot of software is just not sold this way for a variety of reasons, and it's typically what you consider to be the enterprise type software, where the way I look at it is that if you're trying to sell to an entire enterprise, you don't know who you're selling to. There's a lot of stakeholders. And so you just try to stay as neutral as possible, don't say anything that might conflict with one of those stakeholders, and don't put out any information that one of those stakeholders might object to in some way. Our notion is, we're not marketing to a whole enterprise, we're marketing to one person, that doer. That person who's going to pick up Twilio and get started, and if we solve a problem for him and for his company, he'll become the advocate for using us inside of the company. And so once you say, not a whole enterprise, but rather here's a person. Here's a person.
Yeah.
I can now give information to that person, empower him to do stuff. And in the end, it works out, right? Self-service lets him get up and running very quickly, but ultimately, if it's a big enterprise and it's a big, sort of adoption, at some point there will probably be more discussion.
But that person could be your advocate within the organization.
Yeah, and we call that full service, right? So for bigger enterprise customers, we have things like invoicing instead of credit cards, or enterprise contracts, or 24/7 phone support, and all that kind of stuff. But the notion is, let's put that enterprise discussion at the end when you've already figured out that we solve your problem, and it works. As opposed to putting it at the front, because I can't tell you how many, it's something crazy like, 40% of enterprise software deployments fail.
Sure.
Right? They actually never get to the finish line.
Yeah.
Because the discovery is done way too late.
Sure.
Of, is this actually going to work?
Yeah.
So for us, we say, hey, let's put all that discovery first.
Identify the doer and meet their needs.
Yeah, and in particular, you have a problem, we'll solve it. And once we figure out that it works, great. Now we can figure out the rest.
Awesome. No, it's a fantastic story and great ethos. Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, thanks, man. Pleasure to meet you.
Cheers.